Welcome to Out of the World, and you're still joining me on a big world trip. But there's gonna be a new adventure. We celebrated New Year's Eve twice already and we're traveling more than a year, but we moved on to the next continent. From Asia, we flew all the way to Tanzania and we're on a small island in front of the coast, which is Zanzibar.
It's been a year already since we departed on the greatest journey of our lives. On all continents we saw some true world wonders. After a camper trip in Australia, you recently saw the most beautiful nature on the Philippines. And that's where we took off from on a plane.
Zanzibar is of course a well-known tourist destination for people all over the world. There's also a lot of accommodation to choose from. So what do you choose? We chose to be a bit in the middle of nowhere. Way down in the southwest there's a town called Kisimkazi and this is the Bella Vista Resort. It's a beautiful garden with a swimming pool and we're looking out over the ocean where the fishermen are doing their jobs. It's a beautiful African place.
So we flew from Ethiopia to Tanzania. On Zanzibar, we immediately take a taxi to a remote paradise. And the first thing we see over there is this amazing view.
Before I told you that we are staying a little bit in the middle of nowhere. It's not entirely true because for local life this is the place to be. This here is Jambiani Beach right in front of the hotel, and if you want to catch the first glimpse of Zanzibar with the local life, the beautiful beach and the blue water, this is the perfect place to start.
Zanzibar is Africa's most famous island, and it's not even that big, because it's only 2,700 square kilometers. It was colonized from the 16th century, first by the Portuguese, then the Arabs and also the British. After that, it was an independent country for a brief period of time. Today the island belongs to Tanzania, and 99% of about 1 million inhabitants are Muslims. In our village, the people are very friendly and welcoming towards tourists.
On the one hand, of course, it's beautiful that we're here in a small African village near the ocean with all the fishermen around us. But on the other hand, we'd like to see the island as well. So what we needed was some transportation. And today we rented this car over here and we're gonna make the first little tour around the island. Let's go!
Time to fill up the car on gas and dive into a new exciting culture.
The first place that we visit on Zanzibar is the east coast, and we ended up in Jambiani, which is like a local spot with a lot of kids playing on the beach, a lot of little boutique hotels, and because there's a lot of wind, there's also a lot of kite surfing here. We drove a little bit more up north, still on that beautiful southeastern coast, and we end up in Paye. It's a beautiful little town with a lot of local people as well, but a lot of beach bars, a lot of kite surfing, and the clearest blue water next to the widest sand that you ever saw. So I'm gonna take a little dive here with the family. Chilling time.
From the air we see how popular kite surfing is on Zanzibar. There's a lot of wind and the water here is still shallow after hundreds of meters off the coast. We also see these traditional boats that are called dhow. They are used for fishing by the local people and they are made entirely by hand.
So guys, we're sitting here in the bluest and the most clear water in Africa. And it's paradise.
Awesome!
Yes, this water lends itself to the most beautiful photo shoots. Isn't she just the next Bond girl?
Wow guys, this little town called Paye and the beach are super relaxed. What nice African vibes over here. But we're gonna continue our trip. Gonna head back to the hotel because on the way I saw another beautiful blue bay that I want to check out. So the car's over here, let's go. So this is what I saw from the car. Between the palm trees I saw this remote little beach on the most southeastern tip of Zanzibar. A little bit south of Jambiani and just before we go around the corner again to the west side. But it's low tide and you see the coral coming out of the water. There's almost nobody here. All the palm trees. This is really, really, really incredible.
We drive back to the resort where there is a cold Kilimanjaro waiting for me. And I can tell you, after the first ride along the busier beaches, we now realize how unique and peaceful this place is. But there's still plenty to see on this island, so we grab a car and drive about 80 kilometers north today.
Wow guys, we drove for about 1.5 hours to reach the most northern tip of Zanzibar. And this is Nungwi Beach, one of the most beautiful beaches you can find on the entire island, all the way in the most northern tip. But it was kind of hard to find a parking space. All this local life around us, we didn't really feel safe to just park the car anywhere. So we looked for a hotel, and this is the Hilton by the way, and we asked to park over here, and they gave us a free parking spot in exchange for us having some drinks or lunch or whatever. So we're gonna do that and then enter the beach through the front door, Nungwi Beach. This is it guys, we're in heaven, but they call it Nungwi Beach over here. It's one of the best beaches I've ever seen and the best beach you can find in Africa, to my opinion, because of its shape. It goes all around the top corner of the island and it's the whitest sand next to the bluest crystal clear water. So we're gonna do some chilling, we're gonna have a little lunch, and I'm gonna show you what's going on with my drone from above. Ever since we got here, this kind of became my favorite drink. It's called Stony Tangawizi and it's like a ginger beer, but African. And it's better than Coke, I think. If you don't want to drink beer all day, this is a good alternative.
The north side of Zanzibar is very different from the south where we're staying. This is where the more luxurious hotels are located and where all the honeymooners go. The great thing about Zanzibar is, even here you take just 2 steps outside the hotel and you're already back in local life.
From the most northern tip we drove a little bit to the south, like 15 minutes to enter the next beach. And where we had some parking problems in the previous one, this one is pretty easy because we drove all the way up to the beach. And this behind me is called Kendua Beach. Just look at it. It's pretty, right?
With the drone we can see the fishermen and many nomads called Maasai. You see them everywhere in their traditional red loincloths.
You have to admit, guys, where in the world can you just park your car right on the beautiful white beach, just roll over twice in the sand to hit this crazy blue water, and when you look around you, it's just like the brochures. This is one of the most beautiful places in the world, and I get now that everybody wants to go to Zanzibar for the most beautiful beaches in the world. And especially with the drone from above, guys, here, with all the sandbanks, it's incredible. Wow. It's time for another day out, guys, and today we're gonna explore another side of Zanzibar because we were in the north yesterday. Before you saw us cruising the east coast, we're on the west side ourselves in the hotel, and now it's time to discover the south. The most southern tip of the island is supposed to be really beautiful with big rocks and nice beaches, so let's explore.
Across the countryside of the south, we drive to the most extraordinary beach that I was talking about. Very remote between the baobabs is Mtende Beach and the Eden Rock.
Wow guys, I certainly didn't lie when I said the south coast was equally special as the north coast, because look at the giant rocks around me and this beautiful, perfect little beach with the bluest water.
Along the south coast of Zanzibar there are mainly high rocks, but here you can find this hidden beach. And this too is a very good place for a photo shoot.
On days like these, I'm really glad that we have a rental car, because when you go on a tour, you'll see that you'll be everywhere on the most busy time of the day. And we were early on this beautiful beach, and when we're leaving, a lot of people coming in. So, perfect beach, but go on time with the rental car.
Time to get out of here quickly, because there is another highlight planned for today.
When you're driving up north on Zanzibar from the south, you'll cross Yozani Forest. And in this forest there are some special monkeys that only live here on Zanzibar. And we saw them hopping by in the trees when we were driving there. Awesome!
I stopped to buy a ball for Jens, and it's like $1.50.
Today we pay a visit to the capital of Zanzibar, which is called Zanzibar City, but the old quarter is called Stone Town. And this is all UNESCO World Heritage, so let's have a look around.
Stone Town has had its share of both interesting and very sad history. The Arabs traded not only spices here but also slaves. And now the town has become a symbol of the battle against slavery.
When you visit Stone Town, there's definitely one building that you cannot skip. It's the former house of Farouk Bulsara, which we all better know as the singer of Queen. His name is Freddie Mercury, and I'm standing right in front of his birth house. So let's try and knock and see if he's home, guys. Hey, Freddie!
It's almost time to say goodbye to our own slice of heaven. But where exactly are we going?
Serengeti.
Right, in Africa you have to go on a safari, of course.
That's it guys for this episode on the most beautiful island of Tanzania called Zanzibar. We're gonna take an airplane to the mainland, we're gonna head on in Africa, we're gonna go on safari and we're going to fly to Arusha in 1 hour. The plane is leaving now, so I'll see you in the next episode.
So tune in next time to see our big trip through Africa. Because this was just the beginning. Subscribe and don't miss anything. Ciao!